Hello students, I am Renu Matthew, Assistant Professor, MC Department, IISM Pune. In this lecture, we will consider the topic types of testing. A test type is focused on a particular test objective. The test objective could be the testing of the function to be performed by the component or the system, or it can be to test non-functional quality characteristics such as reliability, usability, portability, etc. To test the structure or architecture of the component or system, or it can be related to changes, that is, confirming that defects have been fixed and looking for unintended changes. Depending on these objectives, testing will be organized differently. As per ISTQB, there are 4 types of testing: black box testing, white box testing, non-functional testing, and testing related to changes made in the software. Let us first see what is black box testing. Black box testing is defined as a testing technique in which functionality of the application under test is tested without looking at the internal code structure, implementation details, and knowledge of internal parts of the software. Functional testing considers the specified behavior of the system and is also called as specification-based testing or behavioral testing. This type of testing is based entirely on software requirements and specifications. That is, it uses specification of the functional requirements for the system as the basis for designing test, which means test conditions and test cases are derived from the functionalities of a component or a system. In black box testing, we just focus on inputs and output of the software system without bothering about internal knowledge of the system. So it gives importance to what a system does rather than how it does it. This method is named so because the software program in the eyes of the tester is like a black box inside which one cannot see. This method attempts to find errors like incorrect or missing functions, interface errors, errors in data structures or external database access, behavior or performance errors, initialization and termination errors. Let us see how one can perform black box testing. Initially, the requirements and specifications of the system are examined. Then the tester chooses valid inputs, that is, positive test scenarios, to check whether the system under test processes them correctly. Also, some invalid inputs, that is, negative test scenarios, are also chosen to verify that the system under test is able to detect them. Then the tester determines expected outputs for all those inputs identified. Software tester then constructs test cases with the selected inputs. Then the test cases are executed. The software tester then compares the actual outputs with the expected outputs. Defects, if any, are fixed and perform retesting to confirm that defects are fixed. Let us consider an example to understand it. We are taking the example of an e-commerce application. A tester without knowledge of the internal structures of an e-commerce application can test its web pages by using a browser, by providing inputs like some clicks or keystrokes, and verify the outputs against the expected outcome. Here, the tester should have a good knowledge of the functionalities of e-commerce application and should have both positive and negative scenario based test data to test the application. White box testing. White box testing is a testing based on an analysis of the internal structure of the component or the system. It's typically applied at the component or unit level of testing. It can also be applied at integration level to examine structures such as a call tree, a diagram which shows how modules call other modules. It can be applied at system level to examine menu structures, business process, or web page structure. It focuses on the structure of a software component such as statements, decisions, branches, or even distinct paths. It is also called as structural or architectural or clear box or glass box testing. The tester chooses inputs to exercise paths through the code and determines the appropriate outputs. Programming know-how and the implementation knowledge is essential in the case of white box testing. So it is a testing beyond the user interface and into the nitty-gritty of a system. This method is named so because the software program in the eyes of the tester is like a white or a transparent box inside which one clearly sees. Again, let us take an example to understand this. A developer who does unit testing studies the implementation code of a certain field on a web page, let's say a payment form in an e-commerce application. He determines all legal and illegal paths for card details entry field and verifies the outputs against the expected outcomes. Now let us differentiate between black box and white box testing. Black box testing is a software testing method in which the internal structure or design or implementation of the item being tested is not known to the tester. Whereas in white box testing, the internal structure or design or implementation of the item being tested is known to the user. Black box testing is mainly applicable to higher levels of testing, that is acceptance testing and system testing, though it can be used in lower levels like unit and integration testing. White box testing is mainly applicable to lower levels of testing, that is unit testing and integration testing. Black box testing is generally performed by independent software testers, whereas white box testing is generally performed by software developers. Programming knowledge is a must in white box testing, whereas for in black box testing, programming knowledge is not required. Implementation knowledge is not required in black box testing, but in white box testing, implementation knowledge is required. The basis for test cases in black box testing is requirement specifications, but in case of white box testing, it is detailed design of the system. We have a software testing method which is a combination of black box testing method and white box testing method called as gray box testing. In gray box testing, the internal structure is partially known. This involves having access to internal data structure and algorithms for purposes of designing the test cases. But testing is at the user or black box level. Gray box testing is named so because the software program in the eyes of the tester is like a gray or a transparent box inside which one can partially see. Let us consider an example to understand this. In testing an e-commerce application, the codes for, let's say, 2 units or modules, order module and payment module, will be studied for designing the test cases, and the actual test will be conducted using the exposed interfaces, that is the order form and payment form. The third type of testing is non-functional testing or testing of software product characteristics. It is the testing of how well the system works. Non-functional testing is also performed at all the levels like functional testing. In non-functional testing, the quality characteristics of the component or system is tested. It includes but not limited to performance testing, load testing, stress testing, usability testing, maintainability testing, reliability testing, and portability testing. ISO 9126 standard defines 6 quality characteristics and its sub-characteristics. They are functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability, and portability. First one being functionality testing, which deals with 5 sub-characteristics. They are suitability, accuracy, security, interoperability, and compliance. The purpose of reliability testing is to determine product reliability and to determine whether the software meets the customer's reliability requirements. Usability testing tests the ease with which the user interfaces can be used. That is, it tests whether the application is user-friendly or not. The sub-characteristics of usability are learnability, operability, attractiveness, and compliance. The efficiency characteristics talks about performance, resource utilization, and compliance. Maintainability testing basically defines that how easy it is to maintain the application. The sixth characteristic is portability, and portability testing refers to the process of testing the ease with which a computer software component or application itself can be moved from one environment to another. For example, moving of an application from Windows to Linux environment. The fourth type of testing is testing related to changes. There are two subtypes of testing we do related to change. The first one is confirmation testing or retesting. Confirmation testing is performed to make sure that the test cases which failed in the last execution are passing after the defects against those failures are fixed. Suppose you were testing some software application and you found defects in some component. First, you will log the defects in bug tracking tool. Then developer will fix those defects and provide you with the official testable build. Now you need to rerun the failed test cases to make sure that the previous failures are no more there. Here, it is important to ensure that the test is executed in exactly the same way it was done the first time, using the same inputs, data, and test environment. The second subtype of testing we do related to changes is regression testing. The purpose of the regression testing is to find the bugs which may get introduced accidentally because of new changes or modification done to the software. During confirmation testing, the test defect gets fixed and that part of the application starts working as intended, right? But there may be a possibility that the fix may have introduced or uncovered a different defect elsewhere in the software. The way to detect these unexpected side effects of fixes is to do regression testing. Usually, the regression testing is done by automation tools because in order to fix the defects, the same test is carried out again and again, and it will be very tedious and time consuming to do it manually. Regression testing should be performed when a new feature is added or when an enhancement is done or whenever a bug is fixed or any performance related issue is fixed. Regression test is required even when a small change is done in the code because this small modification can bring unexpected issues in the existing functionality. With this, we come to the end of the lecture. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Thank you.